Hello everyone, I'm still camped in Thika, the Kenyan Birmingham city. And today being my last day in town, I want to take you to where the rich lives. So the estate goes by the name Ngoigua. I'm sure you have seen the title. It is one of the richest neighborhoods, if not the richest in town. And I want you to take a close attention at the buildings, how they are built, the structures, architectural designs, the colors, and maybe by the end you'll be able to borrow a leaf from the rich. So I'm about to join the famous Thika Highway. This very road connects Thika Town to Nairobi Nakuru Highway. So they connect at a point called Flyover, just past Sokomjinga, if you are quite familiar with the route. And so if you are coming from this side of the country, Murang'a, Ukambani, Isiolo, and you want to go to the western side of the country, Nakuru, Shamahoho, Usenge, Sugoi, Migingo, all those beautiful places. You don't have to go all the way to Nairobi. This is the road. You can see it on my right. But I want to delve deeper into this estate, Ngoigwa Estate. We want to see how the people live and also the state of the infrastructure. And I'm sure this very road will take us right inside. I'll also be giving you the numbers. That is the state of the demographics, the land prices, houses. Basically, I'll be telling you how much it costs to live here. But before we hit the heart of the rich neighborhood, let me take this opportunity to welcome you to our YouTube channel, Village to Town TV, a channel that is dedicated to continue showcasing beautiful villages, towns, and cities across the continent of Africa. I am overwhelmed by your continued support. Just a few minutes ago, I realized we just hit the 20,000 subscribers mark. And I just posted to reflect 20,000. Well, that ain't just a number. Those are 20,000 lives with a lot of expectations, aspirations, and genuine love. There is also a multitude of others who just watch without subscribing. There are tens of thousands. I know, because Google provides us with that data on this end. I just appreciate you all, and because I'm a strong believer of the living Almighty God, I pray that He blesses each and every one of you. So make sure you subscribe. The goal is to hit 100,000 subscribers, and I'm sure one of these fine days we'll get there. Anyways, back to the video. We are still driving toward the heart of the estate. And I'm sure you have noted that this is somehow a gated community. People live in private properties. There are very few apartments, although I can see a few that are upcoming right in front. And for information, this is a controlled development area. It is illegal to build high-rise buildings. But well, this is Kenya. But having a second look at this house, I'm not quite sure whether this is an apartment or a villa. Maybe architects in the house can help us. It's a very nice investment, quite solid. I want to go straight. There's a very narrow road here. You can see some very nice mansions on my right. So basically the government classifies the estate as the middle class. The middle class is the biggest cadre of all the classes. But as Africans, you have our own definition of these classes. Like for instance, to us, if you can manage to build such a mansion on my right, I'm not quite sure whether you can see it, or this one right in front of me on my left, fence it off. Of course, you have a nice car, and you take your kids to some fancy schools. Of course, you are rich, and don't argue with us. So far, so good. I'm loving it. Lots of beautiful mansions around. You can see that people are trying so hard to make this a rich neighborhood. Mansions, the fences, classic gates, even these plants like this one right in front. It does very well in rich neighborhoods. But despite that great investment and effort by the great people of Ngoigua, I can clearly see that someone somewhere is failing them. And this time around, it happens to be the government. And this has everything to do with the roads. I don't know whether it is the national government, but I have a strong feeling that these feeder roads are the responsibility of the county government. And this being in Kiambu County, the county government of the great Kiambu County should do something. You can even see the kind of mansions in town, like this one on my right in front. Looks very nice and futuristic. I can see a lot of empty spaces. I'll be giving you land prices in a few minutes. Well, the estate has a total population of 6,085 people. All of these living in an area of 3.4 kilometers squared. You can see this is a lowly densely populated area. All the characteristics of a rich neighborhood. In fact, the official population density of the estate is 1,799 people living in a square kilometer. So that was expected. There's nothing peculiar there. But one thing that really caught my attention as far as the numbers are concerned is on gender distribution. Well, get this. 53.4% of the people living here are females, while the other gender, the males, are only 46.6%. By now, I'm sure you have guessed right. Me and my brother, Mr. the Chain Smoker, we won't mind living here. But on a serious note, where are the men? Because if I do a quick maths, I can see that we have a 7% difference in favor of females. If I can recall, and if you are long followers or you've been following us for long since we started this journey of exploring these neighborhoods, I'm sure you have noted that this phenomenon of having majority women in most middle class estates is repeating itself in most part of the country. I can recall we had the same case in Buruburu, Donholm. All these upper middle class estates in Nairobi have this issue. Another thing I've also noted, if you go to the slums or the low income neighborhoods, like for instance, the other day we are in Kandutu, which is one of the biggest slums in Thika Town, all of these neighborhoods have a male majority. And this brings me to my big question today. So where are the men? Are they not making it to the middle class estates? Or why do we have this phenomenon repeating itself in most estates across the country? Just write to us on the comment section down below, share your thoughts, and we'll appreciate. Or maybe the ladies are working very hard. And if that is the case, all the ladies watching feel much appreciated. And this has just reminded me something. A few months ago, we are having a similar debate right on this channel. I think I had just visited Donholm Estate, which is one of the richest neighborhoods in Nairobi. And the same issue came up. The number of women was very much high. And allow me to say this. Out of all the people who are doing this kind of content, because you have a lot of them who are doing amazing work, I realized I have one of the smartest audience in town. Because tell me why you are having this argument on the comment section. Just trying to understand this issue of having more women in rich neighborhoods. And one lady, I can't recall the name, joined the conversation and tell me, you know what, Mr. Lone Traveler? I live in such neighborhoods. And one thing you should know is that in most of these neighborhoods, every household have a house help or a nanny, or we can just call them house managers. And most of these people are women. And during census, most of these ladies are counted as part of these households. And so the number of women tend to go higher. I don't know what you think about her thinking or reasoning. Could that be the reason? But I really appreciate such kind of thinking. So write to us on the comment section and we'll appreciate. I have also noted that there are some dominant colors in these mansions. There's yellow, some orange, another reddish. It is becoming clear that these colors are quite popular with the middle class. I want to quickly check at the real estate segment. I know my investors are waiting for this segment. So I saw a 4-bedroom masonette in the estate going for 18.5 million Kenya shillings. It was a beautiful one. I wish I could share pictures. I also saw another one. This time around, it was a 5-bedroom going for 25 million Kenya shillings right in the estate. And I also saw another one, a 6-bedroom going for 19.5 million Kenya shillings. I think the reason why the 6-bedroom was a little bit cheaper is because they were saying that you are dealing directly with the owner. But I'm sure you're not getting the true picture of the estate. Most of houses here are 4-bedroom and above. I also saw a lot of undeveloped land for sale. And for sure, I know you can see a lot of empty plots. So I saw an eighth of an acre, that is a 50 by 100, going for 6.7 million Kenya shillings. And this one was touching the tarmac. I know brokers love that kind of language. I also saw another one, that is 100 by 100, which in layman's language is a quarter of an acre. And this was going for 5.7 million Kenya shillings. I saw another one, an eighth, going for 2.9 million Kenya shillings. And another one, the same size, going for 3 million Kenya shillings. So I'm sure you're getting the real picture. It seems like on average, a 50 by 100 is going for 3 million Kenya shillings. That is if it does not have any special features like touching the mighty tarmac. And so on average, a quarter of an acre is going for 6 million Kenya shillings. You can double the amount to see how much a half an acre is going for. That is 12 million Kenya shillings. And of course, an acre is going for 24 million Kenya shillings. So there is just next to Thika Town. The town is about 2 kilometers from here. And so I think it is a nice area in terms of investment. It is also good to know that Thika Town is about to become a city in a few months' time. And so you can imagine Ngoigua will be one of the richest neighborhoods in the only city in Mount Kenya region. Also, you have other rich neighborhoods in Thika. Let's not assume that point. In fact, they are more richer than Ngoigua. For instance, we have one going by the name Bendo Estate. We have Muthaiga, Runda, Thika Greens. And also don't forget the town have several slums. For instance, there is Kiambu slum, which is the biggest outside Nairobi, that is in Kenya. There is another one that goes by the name Athena and Kiangombe. So basically what I'm trying to say is that Thika can accommodate everyone. So let me leave it at that. I definitely had a good time in Ngoigwa Estate. It was a beautiful one. And thank you so much for keeping me company. At least it was not a lonely drive for Mr. Lone Traveler. But kindly make sure you watch the scenic video until the end. I'll be hitting Thika Superhighway in a few. And so you'll be able to see the distance between Thika Superhighway and Ngoigwa Estate. Also make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Village to Town TV, a channel that is dedicated to continue showcasing beautiful villages, towns and cities across the continent of Africa. And remember we say that every village has a story. Also like the video so that it can be recommended to as many people as possible, and smash the notification bell so that every time we post, you will be among the first few people to be notified. Also consider visiting our sister channel, that is Kikuyu Traveling Media. Go there, subscribe, and enjoy our lovely content, especially if you enjoy or you understand that language. Thank you.